in New Jersey, where you got to be pretty darn creative to come up with gun control laws that aren't already on the books. They are having this discussion, and Evan was part of a dueling op-ed that ran in a number of papers in the state on whether or not New Jersey needs even tighter gun control. Evan, thanks for coming on the program tonight.
Always a pleasure, Cam.
I am glad to see, not surprised to see, but I'm glad to see that you said no, New Jersey does not need
Oh, yeah.
even tighter gun
If you
control
were
laws.
surprised at that, we'd have a problem.
Yeah. Now, this was, as I say, this was dueling op-eds. You took the no position. The individual who actually said, yeah, New Jersey's gun laws aren't restrictive enough was Brian Miller from Ceasefire, New Jersey, right?
Right. He never met a gun law he didn't like.
All right. Now, I'm going to ask you in a little bit what Mr. Miller had proposed, given the laws that are currently on the books in New Jersey. But you say no. You say that they are already, quote, draconian, irrational, backward-thinking, and politically motivated laws.
Oh, without a doubt. And in the article, which is available online, and it went out in actually all 5 Gannett newspapers throughout New Jersey, so it got huge coverage on this. I pointed out 12, it could go on forever, but they limited how many words I could use. So I pointed out 12 of some of the most egregious and insane New Jersey gun laws in which the penalties are so severe. And, of course, we have a living, breathing example of Brian Aiken, as far as the handgun possession law is so bad. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many laws, gun laws in New Jersey that are just terrible, and they create havoc for law-abiding citizens, from the so-called assault weapon ban, which banned 22s, and makes that a second-degree crime. The same penalty faced by Brian on the handgun possession applies to those possession of 22 rifles, and that's even if the person lawfully acquired it in New Jersey with a firearms ID card and bought it before the ban. There's no grandfathering there. If you're in possession of it, you are looking at almost the most serious level of offense. The only way they could make New Jersey's gun laws tougher would be to make them all first-degree crimes instead of second-degree crimes, and then they would be the equivalent of murder. The only step beyond that would be capital murder.
Yeah.
So I guess imposing the death penalty for crimes would be the final. They're just 2 steps away now, Cam, in New Jersey, from death penalty for mere unlawful possession of some arbitrarily picked, they claim intrinsically evil item.
Well, I guess the good news is New Jersey probably doesn't give the death penalty too much, right? They're probably anti-death penalty overall.
Well, yeah,
so we just have to worry about life in prison.
But they usually don't, put anyone to death. But probably if it's a gun owner,
yeah,
bend over backwards to kill them.
A legal gun owner, mind you.
Right, a lawful gun owner. That one they'll move on, I'm sure.
One of the things I thought was really interesting, Evan, is you pointed out that even if you support gun control, the laws in New Jersey are written in such a way that good people are going to run afoul of these laws, and they're going to get hurt by this. Let's say that you don't like, quote-unquote, large-capacity magazines. All right, I'll disagree with you. I can come up with an argument that I think would be persuasive, but ignore the argument for a second. Right now in New Jersey, if you possess one of these quote-unquote large-capacity magazines, it's a crime to keep it. It's a crime to get rid of it.
Right. They banned simultaneously, when Governor Florio signed the law, simultaneously banned both keeping and disposing of. And so there is no lawful way under New Jersey's law to get rid of a magazine that you possessed prior to the ban. You can't voluntary surrender it because it's not included under voluntary surrender. If you throw it in the river, you're disposing of evidence, so you're committing a crime by doing that. Just disposing of it to another, or even the disposal, is a separate offense. And all these offenses, by the way, are felony level with up to 18 months in state's prison for the mere magazine possession or disposal. You don't even have to have the gun. It's just the mere possession of a magazine with an arbitrarily chosen capacity, with no rational basis to this law whatsoever.
And I'd love to hear a gun control advocate defend this law.
There is no, these things are indefensible, which is why if you read the counterpoint by the infamous Mr. Miller, all he does is harp on, Arizona. Again, all it is the emotional knee-jerk appeal without any substance or any facts to back their position. My position gave law after law after law showing how my first paragraph of draconian and absurd is a fact.
I love this line, Evan. Claiming New Jersey in 2011 needs stricter anti-gun laws would be like saying Alabama in 1961 needed stricter laws against blacks.
Oh yeah, and if you'd continue a little bit more, I'd appreciate it.
I will. Both gun rights and racial discrimination are constitutional civil rights issues. Alabama eventually respected civil rights, and maybe one day New Jersey will respect civil rights too.
And that's the key, because we, Cam, you, and the majority of your listeners and myself, we are fighting for civil rights under the Constitution, the most fundamental and important of all civil rights, the right to defend oneself and to possess the means to do it. That's why it's the Second Amendment, and it is absolutely that strong and is that important. So that's why these outrageous laws are a civil right violation. This is an individual right. It is a constitutionally guaranteed right, and they are still walking all over it. And to pass more laws to still trample it is just as egregious as any other civil rights battle that we've fought. Because instead of a class based on skin color, they create a class based on individuals who want to have firearms and their accessories.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. All right, now you had another piece that you put out at Pro Gun New Hampshire. Close the car show loophole.
Oh, yes, this is very important. You see, cars cause probably more deaths in terms of any item than anything else out there. I mean, 50,000 deaths a year. Criminals use cars for facilitating their crimes. Drug dealers make drug deals out of them. People load them with explosives, and terrorists use them. And, you can go to a car show, Cam, and you can make a private sale. You can engage in a private sale of a car, and that person doesn't have to run any type of credit or background check or even know who you are. You can pay him cash for that car.
Wait a minute. You mean you can go and you can buy a car from a private individual, and the government doesn't have to get alerted? There's no background check before you can purchase a vehicle?
There's no requirement for that. And what's amazing is these car shows, are where individuals gather to do this frequently. And you also see at these shows other accessories sold, things like extended gas tanks. Okay, you see folding seats and mufflers.
What about automatic transmissions?
Automatic transmissions.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And semi-automatic transmissions too. And these are freely sold in private sales. And considering all the mayhem that we know occurs with cars, I proposed what was exactly the federal gun show loophole law, only substituting a car for gun, to show how reasonable this approach is. And you got to remember, hey, Cam, with cars, it's a privilege. Guns are a right. Cars are a privilege.
That's true. That's true. So you say car event operators under this proposal would submit names of all vendors to the FBI, the Attorney General, both before and after the show. It doesn't matter if any vendor sold a car. A private citizen going to a car show hoping to sell or trade a car, but who does not find a buyer and leaves with his own car, would remain in a vendor file with the FBI forever.
Sure, all reasonable, don't you think? Given how bad cars are for being involved in crimes and death and all. I mean, come on. These are reasonable proposals to regulate car shows. We know about this activity, and somebody's got to do something about it. And I don't think we should stop at car shows because, there's home improvement shows where tools are sold as private sales.
Ladders,
I mean, even wedding shows, how dangerous that could be. I don't even have to go into that. and flower shows and all kinds of plants out there, man. And, on and on. So these shows, all of them, They need this kind of regulation because, as I say in my article, look, if it saves just one life, it's worth it. And, of course, we have to do it for the children.
Now, Evan, I'm able to see the sarcasm there. My fear, though, my friend, is that there are some in Washington tonight who are looking at this proposal and saying, this is actually this is a scary thing. How have we let the car shows go unregulated for so long?
Well, and I hope they don't read too much, Jonathan Swift, right, and other modest proposals and things, because next thing you know, that's the point here, and hopefully driving it home that guns, like any other object, is just that, and that there are bad people, there aren't bad things. And what they propose here is always coming back on the law-abiding guy who wants to enjoy firearms and participate and enjoy one's right to firearms. And here they go again.
Here they go. Well, Evan, again, sir, a great couple of pieces. Glad you could join us tonight, sir, and look forward to doing this again very soon.
Thanks, Cam.